Hey, family, let's talk about it. Tariq Nasheed and his homeboys got ran out of Anniston, Alabama a while back, and I'm the one who saved a hiney. I'm one of the ones who saved a hiney that day. Oh, I was shocked to hear that story because we still talk about that now in Anniston, Alabama, when I go back home, about how these guys got ran up out of Anniston after a talent show. And I heard Tariq Nasheed talk about it yesterday, and I said, what a small world. What a small world. We're going to talk about it in a minute, family. But anyway, then we also going to talk about Jesse Jackson's homegoing that just turned into a political party. So I'm going to let a couple of people get in, and then we going to definitely get up on that, family. Boy, we got a lot of tea in here today. We got a lot of tea, family. Yes. Let me see. Yes, family. Small world, small world. We are definitely going to talk about it. Tariq Nasheed got ran up out of Anniston, Alabama. Him and his homeboys. I remember it so well. And I was one of the ones that helped save that hiney. Yes, I was. We're going to talk about it. And then about the Jesse Jackson homegoing turning into a slap rally. Yes. Let me go in here and I'm going to say hello to some people, but then I'm going to get right on to it because I do have a lot of things to do this season, today. Uh-oh. People... Okay. Got that going. Salute, salute, family. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? So good to see everybody today. Yes. So good to see y'all. Misha Wilson. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Glad to see you today. Thanks for joining us today. So glad to see you joining us. Hold on, I got to get this thing here. Let me clear a lot of this stuff out. So what's been going on, family? What's been going on? But anyway, let me just start off with this right here with the Tariq Nasheed, because it really, I had to actually pull over on the side of the road. Misha Williams. Hello. Let's talk about it. I'm telling you, girl, we got to talk about it. Grand evening to you too. Yes, we have to talk about it, sister. But anyway, let me tell y'all, this is the thing right here. Jerry K. Lipcomb, what's going on? Cafe, you make the best tea. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for your donation. It's so greatly appreciated. And thank you for sponsoring today's show, because the ones who donate to the show, y'all actually help sponsor the show as well. But family, let me tell y'all this scoop right here. And I didn't put Tariq Nasheed's name in the title. It's not about no clout. But I actually had to pull over because the story he told, I was there. And he kept saying in his video, he did a live yesterday. And actually, his live was this right here. Hold on, family. Live was y'all gonna trip out, family. Y'all are going to trip out. He did this yesterday, right? And so I was just checking out his live, because he have great content. He really does. And so this is it. Hold on, let me see if y'all can see it. Let me turn this light off. That's the video he did yesterday, okay? And he talked about him and his homeboys being run out of Anniston, Alabama. What's up, Spicy? What's up? Ernestine, what's going on? What's going on? So he talked about them being ran out of Anniston, Alabama. Now, let me just tell y'all this, and then I'm going to show y'all a little proof and everything like that. And then we'll get on to what he said. My mother is rooted, her and her siblings, my grandmama and grandfather, they rooted in Anniston, Alabama, okay? My father is Georgia, rooted, okay? That's where my ancestors are. In the Anniston and Union Springs, Alabama, and Selma, Alabama. They're rooted there, and in Georgia as well. That's my father. Okay, when my mother and father met, father was in the military. He got drafted in the military. They had to move to New York. That's when I was telling y'all that I am from New York. That's where I was born at, okay? And I stayed there up until my last 2 years of high school. Because Anniston, Alabama, where my mother roots are from, where her mother and father are at, they, in their high school, they had like vocational. You can learn like typing, you can learn trades, how to fix a car. All the girls knew how to do administrative work. They had a big old vocational school where they taught you everything that a college will teach you. So that's why I then came to Anniston, Alabama, where my mother roots at, where my mother, brothers and sisters and all them are at, right? And so a lot of cousins and things like that. Okay, so in Anniston, and I'm going to show y'all this. This is my mother's yearbook, okay? This is Anniston, Alabama. That's where she graduated from, okay? So as y'all will see, I'm going to turn this off. I just want to show you, well, I better not turn it off because you probably can't see it. But as you will see, hopefully you can see it, it says Carver Center, okay? That's where she graduated from. Then you will see me graduated from Anniston High, right? So I want to show y'all this. I was very into talent shows. Now, this is what Tyreek was talking about. I was into talent shows, and I was always in some type of talent show. So this y'all girl cafe right here. I don't know if y'all can see it too well. It's that light, man. But this y'all girl cafe, okay? I was it right here. That's me, okay? I was a real good in talent shows, okay? So talent shows was our thing. And as you see, it says here, Anniston, Alabama. Okay, that's one of our things. Okay, now we were real big in Anniston, Alabama with talent shows. Me and my group that y'all saw, it was 4 of us, me, my cousin, and 2 twins. We always won 2 years straight. We was always number one. I always got the number one prize, the money, the trophies, and all that stuff. Okay, so now after I graduated, I say about 3 years after I graduated, we still went to talent shows because I had cousins that go to talent shows. Now, understand, family, talent shows, that's how come a lot of stars come out of the South, you know, like the Temptations and all that. One of them, we found out the Melvin, who has a deep voice, is from Anniston. And they're from Birmingham and things like that. So talent shows is a big thing. A lot of people come. And even when you graduate, as myself, I say about 2-3 years after I graduated, I was still going because I had family members that was still entering the talent show because they was in the 11th, 12th grade trying to be like us, win a lot. Okay. Now, Tyreek Nashe said that in the 80s, I remember this, him and his homeboys came to Anniston, Alabama. And 2 of them got jumped. Remember, it just is like it was yesterday. And the way he told it, I said, this is a small world. Okay. So now check this out, family. I'm gonna let y'all hear a little bit of what he had to say, and then I'm gonna stop it so that y'all will be, I'm gonna explain it as well. Now, Tyree, don't be trying to strike nobody, because Tyree from Alabama too. But hey, don't be trying to strike nobody now, because I was there when it happened. So you told your side, let me tell my side. Okay. Now, so family, let me give a shout out to everybody. I can't see it on my end. I wonder why. I can't see it on my end. Marsha says, Mama, okay. Love your hair color. Thank you, Spicy. What's up, Spicy? Thank you so much as well. Thank you so much. I'm gonna come out of this and then come on. Okay, so check this out, family. I'm gonna just let y'all listen to the story he told, and I'm gonna tell my portion of the story too. Okay, so check it out. It's just a small world. I was shocked to know that was one of the ones, because we still talk about it right today, family. A lot of people in Amsterdam, when we get together, we have class reunions or we do something like that. I have Tyree by a couple of age, because this incident that happened with him, I was like 19 finna hit 20. He was saying he was 15. That sounds just about right, because I remember when one of them got poked. Okay, y'all know what I mean when I say poked. So check this out right here.
You really don't see a lot of, you see a handful, but you don't see a lot in Alabama. That's why I keep telling you, Alabama, man, that's one of them places you don't sleep on. when you see like a great percentage of FBAs, those are the people you really don't want to sleep on. Yeah, those are the ones you don't want to sleep on. Yeah, Memphis, right? Yeah, now you don't have a lot of them in Alabama. Let me tell you. I keep telling
Mama
folks about
Bama.
Alabama. You don't have a lot of immigrants in Alabama, especially in them little small enclaves.
Now, he is talking about we don't have a lot of immigrants in Alabama, not to where it's like it's noticeable, okay? And that is true, okay? Because in Alabama, it's so deeply in the South, period. But I know in Alabama, the black communities, black American communities, that's deep rooted, and the white tees, that's deep rooted. Y'all know the history of Alabama between black Americans and the white tees, okay? But the thing is, they don't give up their property easy. You just ain't finna come in and make our community say Chinatown. You just ain't finna come in and make it Somalia community. You just not, no, you come in and you can stay there, like you get you a house, or they have businesses, they have gas stations, they have hair beauty salon places and things like that. We talking about just taking the whole community, and this is a whole nationality community. No, we ain't moving like that. No, the house next door is for rent, but far as changing this whole community into what you say you want it to be, ain't gonna work like that. Ain't gonna work like that. So that's what he was saying. Different places that they go to, that is not a whole lot of immigrants. It's some immigrants in Alabama now, I'm telling you it is, but it's not a takeover, because white tea and black Americans ain't really giving up their property and they hood area like that. You can flop down that gas station, or you can flop down that beauty salon, or you can flop down whatever like that. But far as just we taking over this whole community, nah, dog. That ain't gonna work, dog. Now, y'all gonna have to go somewhere else with that one. Okay. I'm just telling y'all about the history of Alabama. And that's probably why you don't see it like that. Okay. So that's what he was talking about. But then I guess it struck a nerve, family. And then he got into when him and his homeboys came to Alabama.
Enclaves. You don't have a lot of them in Alabama. You don't have that, man. Them there with the shit down there in Alabama. I keep reminding people, if you want to see a group of people who's with the business, who would turn up on that ass real fast, them folks in Alabama, they ain't mixed up. They're not diluted. I say that. They are not diluted. Well, you get a pure ass whooping down there in Alabama, dude. Yeah? Where are my Alabama people? Where are my Alabama folks? And I keep telling people, predominantly foundational Black America, they got a lot of little towns with nothing but FBAs in them.
Jerry K. Luke,
where my Alabama people at? Where my Alabama
Detroit
people?
used to teach everything in school too.
Yeah, Alabama got a lot of these little ass pockets. Nothing but FBAs.
Now he gonna say Anniston. Check it out, fam.
And not to be played with. Yeah? What part of Alabama y'all from? When I say they are not to be played with, they are not to be played with, dude. I remember, dude, I'm telling you from experience. Gaston, I told y'all a story about Gaston. We're messing with some hood rats up there in Gaston. Some crazy dude came through and busted the window of the door trying to get in. Dude, them little Alabama towns, them little small joints. Oh, I got a million stories about them. It's always something popping off down there. Back when I was a teen, me and my buddies almost got unalived in Anniston, Alabama. Anybody from Anniston? Y'all know where Anniston, Alabama? We almost got unalived by some niggas down there in Anniston,
it's not funny,
Alabama one time.
But I'm going to tell y'all my story about it.
Well, that's where my family's from. Anybody from Anniston? Who know about Anniston, Alabama? Who knows about Anniston? Family's from Dothan?
I'm laughing because I'm finna tell y'all gonna hear it in a minute.
Valley, Alabama. Where's Valley, Alabama?
Because we still laugh about it right today.
Tuscaloosa. I know about Tuscaloosa. We used to have a little what y'all know about Anniston, nigga? Anniston, so y'all already know about Anniston, huh? Somebody say Anniston is no joke. Nigga. We got hemmed up in Anniston one time. We barely made it out there alive one time, dude.
He ain't lying.
Some of y'all, if you down there,
he is not lying. He went to the talent show in Anniston at Carver Center. I'm going to let him tell his portion, and then I'm gonna tell a little bit of mine. But he is not lying about that. It was a lot of us out there in that parking lot, okay? And they came to do a talent show. Okay, because Tyree is from Alabama too, but they came in from, I guess, Gaston and Birmingham to enter our Anniston talent show. Now, Anniston had one of the biggest talent shows there was. We gave out the most money. We gave out the biggest trophies, all that. Anniston was on and popping, okay? So this is where Tyree said they came that day. And I was also there. I was about 19, 20. He said he was 15 at the time, okay? So check this out.
Go. Nigga, we barely made it out of Anniston one time, dude. Oh, yeah, they got the military thing down there. Yeah, that's right. They got the military thing down there.
Now, they have a military base in Anniston that is called Fort McClellan. They closed it down now, but Cat Williams now has bought that property. He's going to make that military base into his movie studio. Okay, so Cat Williams owns that now in Anniston, Alabama. Okay, so that's what they're talking about. Now check it out.
I was about 14, 15 years old. And we would go to all these little cities around Alabama. Y'all know, as a child, I was a master breakdancer. Now, y'all knew that. I've talked about my breakdancing skills before. All right? Anniston, it's not a bad-looking city. It's just, Anniston got like 20 between 20,000, 24,000 people.
27,000
black
people.
folks there, and them niggas is with the business. They just with the business for real, for real. So yeah, you're an hour from Anniston. Man, we got hemmed up in Anniston so heavy. I was, as a kid, y'all know I was a break dancer. You know, I was a very serious break dancer. I was very serious about my break dancing. I was a master break dancer. You can't see me dancing. Yeah, when I was a very skinny, tall kid, had my Jerry curl popping in the 80s. So I looked like the poster child for the 80s.
Now, actually,
I was a beast.
now, actually, they came in there. Actually, Tariq Nasheed and his homeboy were 5 of them. They came in there to that talent show. I remember. I'm gonna let them finish, but I'm just gonna stop, you know, because I have to stop it and talk. But I don't want to get too ahead of him. But he was talking about he had his Jerry curl and all that. Actually, they came up in there looking like the group Ready for the World. Y'all remember back in the day, the group called Ready for the World? That's who Tariq and them bust up in our talent show looking like, okay? In Anniston, Alabama at Carver Center. Now, I'm going to let him finish.
With the breakdancer.
Clay G. Beat, salute. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you all for joining us.
That's where I got the name Flex from. Oh yeah, I wasn't playing with y'all asses. Ladies, I had that curl on y'all ass. Ladies, if y'all ran into me, if y'all were in high school or whatever in the 80s and y'all ran into me, your ass is gonna go to the prom with me. I got your ass. I had that curl. Around different places, battling, going to contests, and winning talent shows and the whole shebang. We had a partner named Greg, and Greg had like an aunt down in Anniston, and Greg was like, "Hey man, there's a break
Susan,
salute in Anniston. We need to go get that." I said, "Let's go get that." So we go down to Anniston, Alabama. Remember, we don't really know nothing about Anniston like that. We're like, you know, we thinking we city slickers. We're going to go down here and show these niggas what the business is. Oh, yeah, I have the turbo and ozone look. So we go down to Anniston, Alabama. It's about 4 of us.
It was 5 of them.
Oh, how many? It was me, Greg, Kid, and a dude named Dick. Hold on. Now I'm thinking about how many people went with me. Hold on.
So now he gonna call one of his homeboys that went to the talent show with him to verify
I want to make sure
how many of them it was. It was 5 of them. That I remember.
What's up, Kid? It's Flex, man. I'm live on air. How you doing?
He called his buddy up. Check it out.
Hey, I'm doing good. What's going on with you? I'm good. Kid, you remember when we went to Anniston, Alabama that time? And had to fight all them niggas.
I remember that.
How many niggas did we have? How many niggas was out there after us?
No lie, maybe 150.
Yeah. Did you have to get stitches?
Now, when his friend said maybe 150, ninjas was out there, he's not exaggerating. And the reason why it was so many people out there, family, is because that talent show that Tariq and his friends came to, it was in kind of like the late 80s, right? It was in the late 80s. He said he's about 50. We all remember that story here in Anniston because we still talk about it, about how those Jews came from Birmingham and Gaston and got beat up or whatever. So we still talk about that now. But the thing is, in that center is called Carver Center. Now, right across the street from Carver Center is the projects. It's called Cooper Homes Projects, right? Now, so y'all already know the projects is like 2 blocks long, all right? Bunch of folks stay in the projects. Then you have that Carver Community Center that sits right across the street from the projects. Now, remind you, our talent shows are very big in Anniston, Alabama. So you have schools in the surrounding areas that automatically comes to our talent show all the time. So there's a city called Jacksonville, Alabama. That's right next to Anniston. They all come. Then you got Oxford, Alabama. They all come. Then you got Talladega, Alabama. You know Talladega School. You got, they come too. That's the Helen Keller School for the blind and things like that. That's in Talladega. That is a college down there, school down there, all that stuff, all foundational blacks. Okay. So they all come too. It doesn't matter. Like I was like 19, 20 out of school, but you still went to the talent shows because most of your cousins and stuff are still going to the talent shows or performing in talent shows, and we do support. So you got like 5 different communities and 5 different high schools that comes to this here Carver Community Center, right? And then you got the projects right across the street from it. So you can imagine it was about 100-something people that was there in the parking lot and things like that. And I was there as well. Okay. So now check it out. So when his friend said, he said, how many people his friend said? About 100. They not lying.
Yeah. Okay. Cause they said, there was some cat was teaching with a knife.
Right. Did he graze you in the head?
Yeah.
How did you get away, by the way?
I'm not sure. I was just running.
Okay.
I was just running.
Okay, I'm gonna call you back in a minute. Okay, thank you. Wait, no. Who was with us? It was me, you, Greg. It was Deke from Hensley. Who else was with us?
I'm not sure. It was probably around 7 of us, maybe 5.
Right. I remember 4 of us. I can't remember the other people though.
It was one cat. I forgot his name.
Okay.
It was Deke, you, Greg.
It was Deke from Hensley.
I
remember him.
There was some other cats, but it was like maybe 5 or 7 of us.
Okay, bro. I'm gonna call you back in a minute, bro. Thanks. Okay. I'm trying to remember how many people went with us. Yeah, we're trading wood. Nigga, listen what I'm saying. So we go down here. My brother said it was about 5 or 7. I remember 4 of us.
It was 5.
I'm trying to remember. But anyway, we go down here to Anniston. Greg, we don't know nobody in Anniston. We don't know anybody there. His aunt lives there, and we're at her house. But we don't know nobody down there. We just know about a talent show, and it's at the Carver Community Center.
Carver Community Center,
It was at the Carver Community Center. And this is kind of in the hood over there.
It is in the hood.
So
projects right across the street.
It is jam-packed. So Greg is the driver. He drove. And we're like 14, 15, 16. I mean, Greg was a little old, like a couple of years older. That's why he could drive. He had his mother's car. But we're like 14, 15. We're very young. And we don't know nobody in Anniston. We don't know nobody here. Kid, that's my brother. He's like my brother. That's my guy. Kid is with the shit. The guy who does, that's my dog.
Now the one that
best friends on earth. Been best friends since
the one that he called on the phone to verify how many was them and things like that, he's the one that got kind of grazed or poked in the head. Okay. I remember that. We was really worried about him, about that incident. But I tell you, I'm gonna let him.
Poor kids. And kid is with the shit. Now, Greg is a guy, he's kind of a nerd, but he's arrogant. He tries to overcompensate by being overly arrogant. So he walk around school, dressed in suits, just acting very arrogant. And be like, hey, Greg, sit your ass down. It's that type of shit. All right.
Okay, so now check this out. He said his Greg friend was walking around there arrogant, and he did do that. What he did was, they won. Now I'm gonna let him tell y'all about he won. They won that night, that talent show. Okay, they did win, but when they won, I think it was normally we give out about $400 for first place, and then they're like $200 for second place. But they won, And instead of them, because that's how they announced it before they came on stage. They said that they was from Gaston and Birmingham, right? And so that automatically, you're not from Anniston. So a lot of people was like, didn't have no problem. But then when they won, people was a little salty that someone in Anniston or the surrounding areas didn't win. It was the ones from Gaston and Birmingham, which Tyrese said that was them. And so it was a little salty feeling there with the Anniston people, right? But then his friend started bumping his gums and running his mouth as if, we came to y'all city and just took y'all money, took y'all trophy, we took everything, right? And so he just kept on. It was like he was agitating the people who was there, even in the parking lot. He kept on agitating, and then he started trying to talk to like different chicks around in the parking lot, but he was boasting and bragging at the same time. And then that's what put that salty feeling. And I remember telling one of the guys, the one who was talking and bumping his gums, I said, hey, it might be best for you to get in your car, take your trophy, you got your money, and y'all need to dip, because running your mouth, man, project's right across the street. It ain't gonna take long, and these folks are already out here talking mess to y'all. So it's best you get in the car and leave. He ain't do it. Check it out, family.
Goofy shit at home. So we go down here to Anniston, Alabama. We go to this talent show breakdance contest at this community center. So all these different groups go on, and then it's our turn to go on. So we getting it in. We got the look, we got the Jerry curls are popping, my baby hair is popping. We all looking fly. We look like extras from the movie Breaking. I mean, we just look.
Nah, they look like ready for the world.
All that shit is crisp.
The group ready for the world.
So I think we're dancing to Egypt by Egyptian Lover. So somebody said it's always a Greg. Yeah, it's always a Greg. The shit got popped off because of Greg, by the way. All of this, the bullshit got started because of Greg. Let me say that. So anyway, so it's our turn. We're on stage. We got, I had a dude who we just kind of put in our crew. His name was Deke from Hensley. Now, Deke was a hood dude, but he could windmill his ass off. He was real good on the ground. So he's windmilling his ass off. My boy Kid on the phone, he's doing he's real good at like robotic moves. He's real good at that. So he's doing that. Then Greg is coming out doing some gliding moves and all that. He's gliding, doing his thing, and the crowd's loving it.
Now, I do have to say,
and you know how
they were jamming.
You pass a wave
they
to
were
somebody.
jamming.
My hand is out waiting on them to pass the wave to my ass. You sit there and everybody just kind of stagnant until somebody throw it at you. And I'm waiting on them to throw it at me. So Greg threw it at me, bam. I caught it and just went loose on the ass. Egypt.
Tracy.
My curl bouncing.
Hello.
My
Salute, family.
All over the place, hypnotizing the women. Egypt.
Salute. How y'all doing today? Thank y'all so much for joining us today.
In the palm of my hand. I got on baggy pants. The women are going crazy. I said, okay, I need a grand finale. Now the stage was not that high. The stage was not that high. So I said, I need a grand finale. I want to try a move that I've never tried before, because now I'm in the moment. I got him in the palm of my hand, so I need to really close this shit. So I did a move I've never tried before. So I moonwalked to the back of the stage. I moonwalk while doing the heartbeat thing. I'm just killing this. I'm moonwalking, doing the heartbeat thing, and my curl is just going all which way. And I run forward, jump off the stage, and I do a forward flip, land on my feet, and then bust out in one of those. What was this dance called?
Now,
I was doing that.
I have to say, he's not lying. It might have been the flip part. But I do know that one of them, because we was all there, one of them did a move that we had already said, oh, it's over with, they're going to win. Because it was a certain move, and he said it was a flip. And he did that flip, And with the dance, so we was automatically like, what we seen so far from the other groups that was inside of the talent show, we had already knew that group right there is gonna win it. Didn't know that that's who it was Tariq Nasheed, okay? Didn't know that. I just remember the brawl, okay? So I just didn't know who that person was, but they did win because of that their flip that he did and then landed and then start back like popping or doing some old stuff, okay? So check it out.
What was that called? It looked smooth as a motherfucker. It was so damn smooth. I didn't know I could do it, but I did it. Boy, they lost their mind. Woo! The women just went nuts.
Just me, Nene.
They lost their minds.
Salute. How you doing?
I don't know, but I was killing it.
Now he ain't lying.
What was that called?
He ain't lying. They got down now on that stage. It's just when they got outside that door. We'll check it out.
Lost their minds. I did that shit. What was this shit called? I don't know, but I was killing it. I was flipping, did that. The women just lost their minds. Lost their damn minds, nigga. They were like, y'all won. We won the little money.
They did win.
Like $300, we got the money.
They did
got
win.
The trophy. They threw that shit to us, but we took that shit by a landslide. What's it called? What was that called?
Tracy Mo, thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for your donation. It's so greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for helping sponsor the show as well today.
Back of the community center, there's a big parking lot.
Yeah, you talking about the parking lot?
There's a big parking lot, and everybody's in the parking lot, and we're hollering at the girls.
Now he ain't lying about that parking lot, okay? The parking lot, I was chilling in the parking lot. I was in my car with me and my homegirls. We all standing around. I was inside the car. Someone's because the talent show was over with, right? But that's where everybody continues to hang out at for about another extra hour and a half, okay? That's when that other guy from the group, from Tariq group, was going around and he was bumping his gums, talking about how he came to Aniston and they took the trophy and they took the money and all that. Now, I remember telling that guy, I said, hey, man, you might want to get in your car or y'all might want to just get that money, your trophy, get in the car and head out. But I guess there was so many chicks out there and stuff, they wanted to stay and talk to the chicks. Well, when you come in somebody else's town, as long as you ain't like rubbing it in, it's no problem. Ain't nobody really gonna mess with you. But this joker here was bumping his gums, family. He kept on. Even when I said you might want to go, because remind you, I'm one of the 19, 20-year-olds out of the younger ones. There was a lot of us 19, 20, 21, 22 out there as well. But you also had who was competing in that talent show. They was about the 15, 16, 17 hour like siblings and cousins and stuff like that. So that's who they was competing with, the people in their age bracket, okay? Because from how Tariq said, I know I was about 19, 20 when that happened, so I have about 4 years, okay? So he kept bumping his gums and they got out there and stuff, and it went all the way left. All the way left.
The trophy. And we talking to the girls out there. We trying to do something. Hey, baby, it's 2-something. I'm trying to do something. What we trying to do? We're back into the girls trying to go somewhere. I mean, y'all got a crib. Y'all got a room. What we trying to do? We can use this little winnings to go get a room. We're at it. What you trying to do? Like, well, I like your curl. I like your perm. What we're trying to do? So we're talking to the girls and understand from the peripheral, all the dudes out there, they kind of tight. The dudes are a little bit tight because you got these strangers. We don't know none of them. We don't know none of these dudes. And we just came to their town. We done took their money, took their trophy. Now we're taking their girls. So now the dudes are kind of standing on the sideline looking kind of salty a little bit. Y'all know that scene in Belly where they went to like St. Louis somewhere and old boy had the perm. He was like, yeah, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. Yeah, all them niggas okay. I don't like that shit.
They wasn't our homies, dudes that was out there. They weren't really salty at the fact that they won and took the money. Like I said, they was salty, but not enough to jump them and run them up out of Amston. It wasn't like that. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't until that dude who was with Tyrese started bumping his gum. I'm talking about he was talking cash money. He was talking cash money, family. And you just can't do that in Amston. You just can't. Amston ain't the one for that. Okay? But he just kept on bumping his gums. Okay? Now, here you go.
They had that look. They had that look.
That's what that look came from, because he kept bumping his gums.
These dudes are already salty. So
Tracy Lowe, salute.
I got a lot of life lessons from this.
Thank you so much for your generosity,
that's why checking in is
your
very
donation. Important. Thank you so much too, Jerry K.
So now there's already tension with these dudes. We're hollering at their girls. This fool Greg.
Yeah, that's true, Jerry K.
This nigga's walking around acting arrogant.
See, he even said his homeboy was acting arrogant.
This nigga walking around, strutting around and shit like, yeah, on some, yeah, we won.
That's why they was. That's why our boys was looking salty.
No, you don't do no shit like that.
You sure don't.
Out here, he's out here strutting around
in the parking lot.
So I'm talking to a girl. She's like, what they doing over there? Is that your friend? I mean, what? So I see a bunch of niggas, about 40 niggas got Greg surrounded. They got him surrounded. They're going off on, oh shit. Okay. Then somebody grabs Greg, and then they just somebody just start smacking this nigga up crazy. They smacking him up. He's in there. They just start smacking him up crazy. Kid, who I was just on the phone with, he's like, oh shit, we gotta go save Greg. I'm like, can we save this nigga? Because it was literally like 150 people out there. My dude was not, we're not exaggerating. That was about 150 niggas out there. It was.
It was about and we ain't no niggas either, Tyree. It was about it was. I know what he's saying though. It was a lot of us out there, and I have to say that number is number is correct. Okay, because like I told y'all, you got 5 different high schools at this talent show. Then you got the projects right across the street called Cooper Homes. Right? So you got all them people over there in the projects. They ain't got nothing to do. So when it's a talent show at the Carver Center right across the street from the projects, they all come over there. Okay? It wasn't nothing about a dollar to get in, admission, sometimes 50 cents to get in. Okay? And so it was jam-packed. And then most of us just stand outside or sit outside or whatever like that after the talent show. Okay? So he's not lying about that. And I do remember sitting in my car, and my homegirls was outside the car, and they all talking, and they said, what's going on over there? Oh my God, it's a fight. It's a fight. When I tell y'all, and then like I told y'all, my mother grew up in Anniston. That's her foundation thing, right? Mine's too. So my family have a very big reputation, say so-called, in Anniston, okay? And we in the motorcycle, our family and motorcycle club in Anniston is called the Easy Riders. Okay, that's their motorcycle club. My uncle and my grandfather founded that motorcycle club. So, and that was like a half a block away from the Carver Community Center where the talent show was going on. So you got you got a project across the street, motorcycle club, not even a half a block up from the community center. Then you got all these different schools that's right there in the area that comes to this here community center. It was only 5 of them, and one of his homeboys had the nerve to keep bumping his gum. That ain't gonna turn out right. So when we did see the crowd, and I'm like, man, now remind you, they was just on stage. They had won their little trophy and all that stuff. And a lot of the girls probably was feeling them. Me, by being at the 19 age, and like he said, he was about 15, I didn't even look that way. You see what I'm saying? But you had a lot of girls that was like, oh, y'all leave them alone. Y'all leave them alone. Y'all leave them alone. By this time, one of them was just drowned. I'm talking, it's like he went down in a sinkhole and a whole bunch of people was on him, right? So then you had the oldest ones like us. We was like, hey, y'all stop that. Y'all stop that. Yeah, y'all let them boys go. Yeah, and we kept trying to tell them, y'all go, y'all go. We kept trying to tell them to leave, y'all leave. But one of them was still surrounded by all the people. So now it's a lot of us. It was a lot of females in there too. But I guess it was a lot of dudes, but it was a lot of females there and a lot of males who was trying to grab people up off one of the guys that was with Tyreek, okay? And so listen to what happened. But one of his homeboys didn't want to leave the one that was getting beat up. So he came over there, and that's when he got poked.
Yo, let my homeboy go. Everything got quiet. Everybody looked at Kid. Somebody said, get that nigga. And then they start chasing him. So they start chasing Kid around. He was running around this woman's car. She's like, get in the car, get in the car. She's trying to tell him to get in the car. Kid running his ass off.
Thank you so much for the generosity. Thank you so much for helping sponsor the show as well.
Hit your bro. 40 more niggas come out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, now.
This nigga did some hillbilly country down swamp couple taking that girl.
Now.
My dude, Kid was like.
Tyrese said somebody made a noise like brrr, brrr, and then more people came from the bushes and stuff. I can understand that he probably felt like that. The person that made that noise, they was telling them that something is going down, okay? Something is going down. But you got to remind you, he was saying it's like 100 more niggas came, right? But what he didn't know is y'all was right across the street from the projects. That's where them other ones came from the projects, okay? And that's what got them even more hemmed up. But then you had me, and it was about 20, 30 more of people like me that was trying to stop the thing. And then some of the motorcycle club folks came. And because it had got people was running down the street talking about it's a fight, because somebody was bleeding. That was one of Tyrese's friends. One of them was bleeding, but he was bleeding bad. We saw it, and we didn't know where he went though. Okay. And finally we got everybody kind of up off the one who was on the ground. But when I tell you, family, he was messed up. He was messed up. And that's when we was trying to tell some of the chicks was saying, get in the car. They was going to take him with them. Because he, but they couldn't get to him no more because you had me and my homies. Then you had about 15 others that was protecting this guy. And then you had a couple of the motorcycle guys that is in our age bracket at the time protecting that guy too, telling him, go ahead. We can't keep him off too much longer. You see what I'm saying? So that's what Tyreek Nasheed was talking about.
Fuck that. He runs over there.
This is a small world.
Let my homeboy go. Everything got quiet. Everybody looked at Kid. Somebody said, get that nigga. And then they start chasing him. So they start chasing Kid around. He was running around this woman's car. She's like, get in the car, get in the car. She's trying to tell him to get in the car. Kid running his ass off. One of these niggas do some kind of country ass call. Hit your bro. 40 more niggas come out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
That was from the projects.
This nigga did some hillbilly country down swamp call. Hit your bro. All these other niggas like, whoa, where the fuck these niggas come from?
The projects. Right across the street.
My dude, Kid, is running. The nigga pulls out a knife.
Darlene Chestnut.
The dude chasing Kid pulls out a knife. You know how in an urban area, somebody pull out a switchblade, like, shink, they pull a switch. This nigga pulled out a hunting knife. This shit was about this big. This nigga pulled a hunting knife out. What are you doing with
Captain Private, it sure is a small world.
With the knife like this. He's running. Come here, nigga. He's running with the hunting knife. Big ass fucking hunting knife. Like, nigga. What are you doing with this big ass knife?
Now, I'm gonna tell you, it's not funny, family. But I remember it like it was yesterday. Captain Private just said, this is a small world. It was, and just so happened, I heard his live yesterday. I had to pull over, family, because I was just coming from seeing my girls recite, my grandgirls recital from school. Well, from church, I'm sorry. And it was just, I had to pull over. For one thing, I was glad to hear that the one that got poked was okay. But the other one is, he's saying, what would that? He said, nigga, why he got a big, where did he come from with that big old knife? Remind you, that Carver Center that y'all was doing the talent show at is right across the street from the projects. So most likely, somebody had went over there right there. I'm talking about all they had to do was cross the street. That's how it is, family. We ain't talking about no long cross the street. It just crossed the street, probably ran in the house, went in the kitchen drawer, got one, and came right back across the street. He ain't even missed no action. That's how that was. He didn't come there like that with that. And I know it's shocking to Tyree, because I heard Tyree say, nigga, he had a big old knife. Like, what you doing with that? Tyree probably didn't even realize that center was right across the street from the projects. He probably didn't even realize. They probably didn't even look.
Nigga, you cut off deer antlers with this shit? So he's chasing kid. He swings. He hits kid in the head.
He
did. Stabs him in the head. My dude kid is still running. I'm like, oh shit. So me and a dude Deke, because I remember Deke. Me and Deke were there. All these 100 niggas just out here chasing kid, whooping on Greg. They still whooping Greg. Greg is somewhere. He's under a pile of niggas.
I'm telling you, he was.
Now let me be real. I ain't no runner. Let's be real. I'm not a runner. I don't be running from niggas. Let me tell you my get out. I'm not a runner. It's just not in my spirit to be running. I don't run, but goddamn it, I hid. I did hide now. I didn't run, but damn it, I hid. Me and Deke.
Now, he ain't lying about he hid, because the one who got poked, we knew he was bleeding, right? And so we had got them other dudes kind of up off them where he had time to take out and run. So he did take out and run, okay? So I'm telling you, I was slapped in the mix of it, because I'm one of kind of the G well-respected in Anniston right today. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just showed, that's why I want to show y'all proof that my mother graduated from there. You see her say Carver Center. That's exactly where he did the talent show at. Then I went to the high school called Anniston High School. I was in the talent show, always won, very well respected. My family started the motorcycle, Easy Riders. They're very respected. So our family was very respected. So when I step in something like that and say, hey, they kind of simmer down somewhere. I ain't gonna say I could simmer down all of them, but the ones who was after that guy who got poked, he was able, it was enough time for him to go, get on. The other one, that's when we had to focus on the other one who was getting jumped, okay? We got him to where he could take out. Okay, and that was the one kept bumping his gums. Now, we kept saying, it's 3 more somewhere. That's why Tyree said, I hid. Now I see what happened to him. Because everybody was looking for those other 3. And some of the guys who still wanted to kind of get out, they was like, it's 3 more somewhere. It's 3 more somewhere. We was hoping they wouldn't never find the 3 more. We didn't know what happened. I didn't know if they had got caught somewhere, and that's why we didn't see them. It was just crazy, family, okay? So check it out. So he ain't lying. He did hide because people was looking for the other 3 and couldn't find him.
The building and hid in the bushes.
He said he hid in the bushes.
We got in the bushes and laid low for a minute so we can walk up, because Greg's aunt's house was not too far, a few blocks up. So me and D got
Darlene said hide now.
So
Captain Private said,
the coast is clear, so we started.
And my humble opinion, Miss Cafe, you are Tarika doing the Lord's work. Thank you.
So
you know I didn't know that's who it was at the time.
So now,
Saving a popular
I got
voice.
Grass and leaves in my baby hair. I'm all fucked up right now. Then I see Kid. Kid comes around the corner. He's running. He's bleeding. He don't even know he's bleeding. He was
bleeding bad.
I don't know how. That's why I asked him, how the hell did you get away from all the niggas?
I tell you. Now he said he asked his homeboy, how did you get away from all those, those ninjas? And even Tyree said he was surprised that his homeboy got away. That's where I was telling y'all that we stepped in and we was like, nah, let him go. Especially when they said, man, he bleeding. We stepped in and we got him enough room to where he could take out. And he took out and he was bleeding. I was like, man, I hope he make, because it was some people running after him, but he had so far of a head start till I felt the way he was running, they ain't gonna catch him. I just hope he be all right. You see what I'm saying? Now, far as that other one bumping his guns, when we got that pile off of him, family, you'll hear Tyree even say it.
Over to Greg's aunt's house. So we were hurrying over there. So now things are, I got grass and leaves in my baby hair. I'm all fucked up right now. Then I see Kid. Kid comes around the corner. He's running. He's bleeding. He don't even know he's bleeding. He's like, oh shit, let's go. I don't know how. That's why I asked him, how the hell did you get away from all the niggas? So he somehow, I don't know how he got away. He got away. We go to Greg's aunt's house, which was a few blocks down. So I get all the shrubbery out of my baby hair. I'm like, shit, am I fine? Then Greg comes in.
Greg is the one bumping his gums. We got the pile out for.
What happened? Then Greg comes in. This nigga Greg is just fucked all the way up. He's fucked up.
He was.
His arm all twisted. They done beat his arm. One of his arms is just janky. The arm is all fucked up. He kind of got it in a sling. He done made a makeshift sling. One of his arms is just janky. The arm is all fucked up. He kind of got it in a sling. He done made a makeshift sling.
Family, this is not funny. Spicy, I see you. Spicy, I see you laugh. This is not funny, family. But I won't forget, because I said, ew, once we got the pile off of him and told him to, just go ahead. And it was one of those easy riders that kind of escorted him up out of that parking lot. But you could see it wasn't right. This was this way, and it just looked like it was just dislocated. It just looked like it was dislocated, right? But he was able to get up out of there, and we calmed everybody down and things like that. So, but his arm was messed up. It like everything was messed up on him, and we knew he really couldn't move. He couldn't run like the rest of them. He was done up too bad. So we made sure that didn't nobody else mess with this guy. You see what I'm saying? Until he got off out of that parking lot premises and went on about his business,
He come in the house mad at us. Y'all motherfuckers left me. I wasn't about to get stabbed for you. Say, don't fuck with them.
I think it was broke, Darlene.
All right? The Alabama boys ain't shit to damn play with. That's the moral of the story. Yeah, nigga, there was just nothing we could do with all the niggas. There's nothing we can do. I can just come and inform your aunt that you didn't make it, nigga. That's all I can do. us. There's 100 and some niggas out here. The fuck? Why are you acting a fool with these dudes? Man, don't play with them dudes. I'm surprised he made it. I don't even know how that nigga made it alive.
He made it because we made sure he made it. We made sure that.
How did you make it out of that? Made out that bitch alive. Man. But shout out to Alabama. Shout out to Aniston.
Shout out to you too, bro. But let me say this. Shout out to Tyreek. I just want to say on behalf of Aniston, we are so sorry that you and your friends endured that night. I remember it just like it was yesterday. But one thing about it, I always wondered, we'll all talk about it still because, you know, when I go to Aniston and we have like family reunions or you have class reunions or you have something like that, that particular story always come up. Y'all remember when all the Aniston ran them Gas and Birmingham boys up out here, man, that was crazy. And everybody was like, wonder what happened to the dude who got poked, hope he all right. And when I heard Tyree said the guy he called, that was him. And that soothed my heart. You see what I'm saying? Because after we had got everybody to where he had time to run and have a long head start, never heard from him again. We didn't know them. You see what I'm saying? But just hoping that he was all right. I've always had that heart that, man, I hope that dude all right wherever I hope it didn't damage him, or I hope it didn't seriously, cause damage to him, in the future. And here it is, over 35, almost 40 years later, you hear he's okay. That is a small world. That's why I had to show y'all proof that I am Aniston. My mama Aniston, I'm Aniston, and I know this here, that story there, he's not lying. He was not lying. And I was shocked. I even called some of my cousins in Aniston. I was like, they was like, no. I was like, yeah, I gave them the link so they can go and listen to Tyree's story. They were like, oh no, Tyree. I said, yeah, didn't even know it. So, but at the time, it was just something in my spirit that was saying, save these guys, and I was telling my homies and everybody I knew. And when the motorcycle club, they knew that I was the niece and the granddaughter of the big dogs they did kind of what I said, like, don't let them hurt them, don't let them hurt them. Y'all stop, y'all get, So I had a lot of power in the voice at that time. And I didn't know that I was saving another voice that was going to be very relevant in the future. Tariq Nasheed. I did not know it. Did not know it at all until he told that story yesterday when he was talking about Aniston, Alabama. I said, what a small world. So I just had to tell y'all about that. And like I said, on the behalf of Aniston, we're all deeply sorry on the behalf of the city of Aniston that y'all had to endure that. But you tell your friend, he grown now, because we all grown. But you tell your friend, I'm quite sure he don't do it now, going nowhere in a strange place, bumping his gums. Yes, and don't know nothing about them folks. Then y'all right across the street from the projects. Didn't even know that either. Yeah, because those talent shows kind of start at nighttime, because y'all know in the fall it gets dark early. So they probably roll up there, didn't even look right across the street and see that it's a whole project. They seen they was in the hood, because I heard Tyree say that, but they didn't realize they was in the hood, and the projects is right across the street from that community center that they was performing at for the talent show. They probably didn't even look at. They probably didn't even notice it because it was dark. They probably, that's the spot right there. And then they just turned off in there. They didn't even look across the street and see that it's a whole big old project. And they couldn't tell, even if they did notice that there was a project right across the street, they probably didn't notice that it was 2 blocks long. So anyway, Darlene Chestnut said Tyree was jamming. Captain Private said, "Bless your heart." Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was just because we talk about it right today. It's just a small world. Okay, so I'm gonna move off that, but I had to say something about that family. I really did because I was so glad that the guy that got poked was okay, because that's the guy that y'all heard on the phone that he was talking to Tyree, because Tyree asked him, said, didn't you get grazed or stabbed? He said, yeah. He said, didn't you have to get stitches? He said, yeah. So he did have to get stitches, but I'm just so glad 30, 40 something years later, you see he's okay. You know what I'm saying? So that, well, 35 years later, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, you see that he's okay. So that's awesome. Now, let's get right on to this, family, because the and shout out to everybody. Let me see what y'all say in the comments, because I don't want to leave anybody out. Darlene Chestnut is laughing. Spicy said, my husband said he did good to get out of there alive. Spicy said, I'm telling you, because it was hard. When I say it was because you know, you had a choice who to help first. You telling people, hey, you know, get them up off him, get them, and then you telling people, leave him alone. The one that, you know, but I felt the one who had the eyes, you know, see the blood or whatever, that's the one who needed the urgent help. You know what I'm saying? And it was still some people trying to get that, you know, get people off that dude who was buried. That's the one who was bumping his gums. You see what I'm saying? And the one who got poked, he was the one who went to try to save the one who was up under the pile. And that didn't work out too good. And then he messed around and got poked. And then they started running, going towards him. They still weren't letting him go either. You know, you had some over here and some over here. And then we had broke that up, but we gave him a good head start, so he's all right. And just think, I just thank the Lord that they all right. But I've always wondered that, because I always said that even when that story comes up years and years and years, like I said, we still talk about it. I always say when that comes up, I wonder how that dude doing who got poked. And so he's doing okay. So that's the main thing. Now let's talk about how they turned this here homegoing into a rally. No, they didn't. Just slap disrespected the folks. Now, Jesse Jackson, his homegoing was this past here weekend or week Friday or whatever like that, right? And his son specifically asked everybody before the homegoing, before the funeral even got started. He said, hey, please do not use this time of my father's homegoing to talk about any political issues. He just wanted to be all about his father accomplishments, what his father legacy, what his father did, how his father helped people and things like that. That's all he wanted. He said that was his father's last request, okay? And that was the son's, Jesse Jr., last request, okay? So this man got up here and he said this, and he wanted it to be like this, point blank, period, okay? And what did they get up there and do? Slap disrespected what that man said. You can't make this up. Just slap disrespectful. He only asked one thing. Jesse Jackson's son only asked the congregation to do one thing. That's to, when you get up here and talk, don't bring up nothing political. This ain't it. Don't do it. But because they knew that a whole lot of cameras and everybody and news people was there, they wanted to try to slide it up in there anyway. How disrespectful. Man, hard-headed Dems went in there and stunk up the joint. Why y'all couldn't just do what that man asked y'all to do? Anyway, check it out, family. Check it out. don't know why they just couldn't go up there and do what that man asked them to do. It's not hard just to follow directions.
It's absolutely. Do not bring your politics out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived to these homegoing services. Right. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all. Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived.
Okay, so he just asked people, just do that one thing for me. Don't bring none of that political. He said everybody is welcome. Right wing, left wing, whatever. And a lot of people probably didn't know, but if you think about it, Jesse Jackson never did down presidents. Like he never did. You never heard him really talk bad about presidents. Donald Trump actually helped Jesse Jackson with his campaign when Jesse Jackson was running for president. Remember, Jesse Jackson is the first one who ran for president. He was the first black man who ran for president. Okay, it wasn't Obama. It was Jesse Jackson. You know who damn near funded that whole campaign for Jesse Jackson? Donald Trump. Him and Donald Trump was close at the time. Okay? So I think that was a lot of reason why. They probably wasn't tight when Jesse left here, but he did put a lot of contribute and support behind Trump, put a lot of money, tribute, everything behind Jesse Jackson campaign for president. Okay, now he did do that. So I think that's why his son was like, don't come up here and bring no political stuff, none of that. Let's just leave it where it's at because, hey, the elephants are welcome and the donkeys are welcome, okay? Everybody is welcome here. That's the way my father's last wishes wanted it to be. Anybody who want to come up here and say something about my father are welcome to come up here, okay? This not just a funeral for this party. This is just not a funeral for that party. This is just a homegoing to celebrate his life. That's all he asked, okay? And it was like the Dems went right up there. Obama, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Al Sharpton went right up there and disregarded every request Jesse Jr. had and disregarded Jesse Jackson's last wishes. How trifling. I'm sorry. It's no other way I could say that. Now, check out what was said.
Each day we wake up to some new assault on our democratic institutions. Another setback to the idea of the rule of law. An offense to common decency. Every day you wake up to things you just didn't think were possible. Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other. And that some Americans count more than others.
Now, Obama sat up there and disrespected them folks. That man said, don't bring no political stuff up there. Okay? We don't care none of that. We don't care about none of that. He said, don't do it. You got right up there and you did it. He talked about every day The Dems are under attack. Well, for one thing, if you're moving like that, that's most likely why. You don't listen. You don't listen. Listen. That's probably why you say every day somebody is dogging the Dems. Y'all don't listen. The folks clearly said, do not bring political stuff inside of this here funeral. Just like they don't listen to the community. They don't listen to the Black community. They don't listen to the majority of the citizens inside the United States. No. They're focused on everything else but United States citizens. They don't listen. United States citizens, Black Americans, be shouting to them, telling them what they need, telling them what they want. They don't listen. It's obvious they don't listen. Then they stood right up there in that funeral and did not obey rules. That's exactly why y'all in the position you're in now. You don't listen. You don't listen. They making it all about them. You had one thing to do, just one little thing to do, and you disregarded it. How trifling. Next.
I don't care what they do in Washington. I care what we do in the community. We beat people bigger than Trump. We fought people harder than them. If we stand up and be what we're supposed to be.
Okay. That was Al Sharpton. He says the same thing. Okay. We beat people bigger than Trump. What happened to Jesse Jackson? Stood along Martin Luther King. Jesse Jackson contributed a lot to the civil rights movement. Jesse Jackson ran for president. Jesse Jackson did a lot of things. He got a lot of people free from overseas who was jailed and things. He was able to talk to those countries to get people released and things like that. What happened to that? That's what a funeral is supposed to be about. His legacy. His legacy, what he did, went slap up there and disregarded. Check it out. Next.
Because there's bad times like now. We're in a tough spot, folks. We got an administration that doesn't share any of the values that we have. I don't think I'm exaggerating a little bit.
First of all, who bought Biden? Who bought Biden? They need to be ashamed of themselves. Who bought Biden? Seemed like he was in la la land, okay? And we know that he's not feeling up to par. So why was he even there? So I feel like I want to give him a pass because I feel he said, y'all know things are looking bad. We're not in a good place right now. I really do think he thought this was a campaign because I just have to give him a little pass because it's something that's telling me that he's just not himself all the way. And he was basically up there and he saw all those people and he was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be campaigning for somebody. And he started campaigning. So he's the only one that I can say that might get a pass because I just don't think he's fully himself. Put it that way. Okay. But everybody else don't get no pass. And I know a lot of people probably won't get by no pass either. That's understandable too. I just feel like we know. That's one thing about the Dems. Y'all was actually do something y'all weren't supposed to do. Okay. Then you turn around and bring this man here up on the stage, our former president. We knowing he just need to be at home and resting. Okay. He shouldn't even been there. He should have just sent a big old spread of flowers and all that stuff and was like, y'all know I'm not feeling good. I'm going to lay back, but here, you know, he should have sent the biggest spread of flowers that they could find. Okay. Before it's being there, no. But they put him there anyway. Okay. So that's another thing. And then they try to play in our face and say the man is okay. We ain't crazy. We could see the man, okay? The man was falling up and down Air Force One. He was tripping and falling up the stairs, falling down the stairs. He was falling off of bicycles. He was falling off of everything. He crossed the street. He was stumbling, falling, and all that. We knew something wasn't right, okay? But once again, the deals played in our face and said the man was perfectly okay. How is he perfectly okay when he falling up the stairs on the Air Force One? I'm talking about every time. You got to hold him by the hand when he coming down, because if not, he flight first on his head. So they played in our face about that. Then they had the nerve to put this man up here, and it was just comical because he wasn't supposed to be up there. He didn't know what he was there for. I think the man really thought he was campaigning. Yes. Oh, everybody, come on, get dressed. We going to Jesse Jackson funeral. Oh, we going to his campaign? Yeah. You know, just come on. And he got up there and he started campaigning. That's the only one that kind of get a pass from me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next. Lord have mercy.
Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now.
Now, family, that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard. You don't get in front of somebody's funeral and say, I told y'all this was coming. What you mean you told us it was coming? Is you trying to say that you knew that my dad was going to pass away here in February or March 2026? Are you trying to tell us you knew that was coming? Because, see, we getting it confused. Oh, you talking about campaigning, and I told you not to talk about that. But it's given that you're talking about you knew that this death here was coming. So what is you really talking about? See, that's why you don't get up there breaking rules. Because that right there, to get up there and say, I told y'all this was coming. And I don't want to be the one to say I told you so, but I told you so. What? Are you talking about my relative that laying there in that casket? Are you trying to say that you telling us so that you predict that this person was going to pass? Is that what you predicting? What is it? That was a wrong thing to say. See, that's why they say leave the campaign thing out of it. Because see, you was talking about Trump, but this ain't no funeral for him. This is for Jesse. And to come out your mouth with, I told y'all this was going to happen. Could you imagine? See, it couldn't have been me, family. Everybody would have had to get up out of there. First of all, Obama would have been first. See, when I ask people to respect my relative and they don't do it, I don't sit there like, oh, you know what? They disrespected what I just said. I told them not to even bring this up. No. I'm getting up out my seat and I'm going to snatch the microphone and I'm going to say, I'm going to need you to leave. I don't care how disrespectful the people and the public might feel it is for me to do that. It's disrespectful for you to come up here and disobey my father's last wishes and my wish. So I would have snatched the microphone and asked him to politely leave. Then I'd have said next, and it'd have been Al. And when Al came up there with all that Trump stuff, I don't care that he's the one that's doing the eulogy. I care nothing about that. As soon as you said, we have beat Trump before, give me that microphone. You gone. You give it him. Give it him. And leave. I do the preaching myself. But you ain't finna stay. You're not finna disrespect my folks when I asked you not to. See, last wishes is last wishes. And if your people put in their will or they ask you, this my last wish, don't let nobody disrespect that wish. And when they disrespect that wish, get them up out of there. They were supposed to be shown the nearest exit door. That's not disrespectful. That's honoring last wishes. How trifling. How trifling. Done sashayed up there stinking up the joint. Wow. Amazing. Let me see what y'all got to say. That right there, totally disrespectful. Susan said, yes. Linda D, salute. She said, no one probably understood this, in my opinion. I don't know. Darlene Chestnut said his 165-year-old has told everybody he was smarter than them. Yeah, you know what? I'm saying. Darlene Chestnut said, Me Too Cafe, they would have had to leave. Yeah, they would have had to leave. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. They would have had to leave. You're not finna pull no snake or move on my loved one family. You see what? No, that we just not finna do that. Well, anyway, family, it was a lot of people, who was upset about this. And I want y'all to hear that right there, because like I said, Jesse did a lot of things. And the focus should have been on that. And especially, even if you had that in your mind to start making it political, once you heard that son say at the beginning, I don't want nobody to make this political. Right wing, left wing, any wing is welcome to come up here and just talk about my father. Then that's when, even if I had it on my agenda to start trying to use this funeral for a campaign, I was supposed to shut up and come up with just what he did himself. Now, it's given that none of them knew for real, Jesse's accomplishments. Because if they did, they would have disregarded all that political stuff and started talking about the legacy of Jesse Jackson. And then again, they most likely did know. They just didn't give a damn. This was a time for them to shine. It was all about them. And I think that was so disrespectful. And everybody, a lot of people throughout the United States was not feeling this. That was so disrespectful. Think about it, family. And don't tell me, oh, they do it all the time in president. No, they don't. They didn't do it at Carter's. No, they didn't do it at Bush. They know when and when not to do it. And that's disrespectful. So you know how not to come up there with that political stuff when it's like Bush folks. White tea president. You know not to go up there with that. Because they haven't. They go there and they talk about how good of a man that person was. Don't say nothing about who was president at that time. They ain't finna bring that up. No, they know better. But because this was a black funeral, it was going to be in front of the world. People all over the world was going to see this. They took this opportunity to dunk on his final wishes and uplift themselves and promote themselves. Well, the communities throughout the United States wasn't feeling it. And listen to what they say.
Bring your politics.
He asked that.
Out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived, to these homegoing services. Right. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all. Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. Of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived.
And they did just the opposite. So this is what the people are saying.
Jesse Jackson's son makes a request at his father's funeral that politics not be brought up. Okay, leave politics out of his father's funeral. They were there to honor Jesse Jackson. And what do the Democrats, especially Kamala and Obama,
Spicy, they really do. They owe him an apology.
Yeah, forget your request. We're going to use this time to stand up at the podium and show our symptoms of TDS. You got Kamala talking about, I told you so, I saw it coming, I told you so. And Obama had his little spiel. I'm like, how inconsiderate, how selfish, how prideful, how disrespectful do you have to be to do something like that? Especially when a specific request was made.
Mm-hmm. One request was made.
So Barack Hussein Obama, the ex-president,
this is another
gave
person.
His speech at Jesse Jackson's funeral. And all I can say is, Barack Obama, sit your ass down. Barack Obama is the only president that I know been out of office for 10 years and still can't keep his face out of the camera. Don't you know that Jesse Jackson hated you? And that speech was so disingenuous. I mean, listen to this man's accent. It got so deep. I mean, Democrats love to get animated and all, holified and shit when they get around a bunch of black folks. It's comical. It really is. And though I'm not a fan of Jesse Jackson, Barack Obama, shame on you. I mean, the focus should have been on the man in the casket, not Donald Trump. He could not wait to throw Donald Trump under the bus at Jesse Jackson's funeral. It's insane. For the simple fact that if Jesse Jackson was alive, he wouldn't be saying anything about President Trump. Because let's not forget, Trump helped him in the 80s when he was running for president. Mm-hmm. He helped his organizations. So why would he down Trump? And Democrats are so disrespectful. Why would you wait until Jesse Jackson is dead to disrespect the man who helped him for his plight? As Barack Obama, let's not forget, Trump helped him in the 80s when he was running for president. He helped his organizations.
He did.
So why would he down Trump? And Democrats are so disrespectful. Why would you wait until Jesse Jackson is dead to disrespect the man who helped him for his plight for president of the United States? It's disgusting. It truly is. Because as Barack Obama sit there and throw stones at Trump for how he's dealing with Iran, let's not forget, it was Barack Obama during his administration that dropped several hundred bombs on the Middle East. Let's not forget what you did to the sovereignty of Libya. Why not talk about that?
Okay, so it's a lot of people heated, family.
That I wanted to vomit when I looked at Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral.
So,
I really literally thought that it was going to be a joyous occasion.
It's a lot of people that's really pissed off.
For how the Democrats completely showed their butts and acted a fool and acted like demons. Reverend Jesse Jackson's son, before the event, he gave a strong message that he did not want Jesse Jackson's his service to be turned into a political battlefield. That he wanted everybody that comes to speak to be focused on Reverend Jackson, his accomplishments, and that it was open to Democrats, Republicans, Independents, because his life was not just that to Democrats. That's what he said. And Jesse Jackson was not the type of civil rights leader that was as divisive as Al Sharpton. You didn't see him speaking and attacking Republicans and on CNN. Mm-hmm. You can see him attacking the president.
And it was disrespectful. I don't care what you say. I know y'all are slaves to many of y'all are slaves to the Democrats. I know many of y'all will not call them out when they do anything wrong, but you have everything negative to say about Republicans. Republicans sneeze wrong. That is partisanship. That is not having a mind of your own. You can still be a Democrat and call out your party and call out them when they're wrong and say they're wrong. I've said that certain things when Trump posted things about them, I didn't like it. Then I said that. I don't necessarily agree with everything that Trump does. But for you to act like that there was nothing wrong with the fact that Kamala, that Biden, that clips are going viral, not of them uplifting Reverend Jackson and talking about his life and the things he done for black people and the things he did for the civil rights movement. But the only thing that's going viral, the only thing that's being talked about right now is what Obama said about Trump. They turned it into all about Trump because they have Trump derangement. They've lost their minds.
So that's the part I just kind of wanted to hear, that Jesse Jackson's funeral turned out to be not about him in the media. It's about how some of the former presidents and friends and stuff like that disrespected the funeral, what they did at the funeral. And if you think about it, to me, is given that was the plan, because that was going to be a big stage. They knew that, this is a big time to get our word out there, to get how we feel out there about the president. This is a great opportunity because we know the world going to be watching. So, we're going to have to take advantage of this opportunity and start talking about the person who's in office, and let's talk about our feelings, and let's talk about our party and all that stuff, because we might not be getting this type of big stage in a long time. So we have to take advantage of this. And it turns out that instead of everybody talking about all of Jesse Jackson's accomplishments at the funeral, like, look at what we're talking about now. We're talking about something that negatively happened at his homegoing, not something positive that happened at his homegoing. Basically, they hijacked his funeral. Unbelievable. And see, that's why I don't belong to either or party. I just, whatever I feel like is right for the country at the time, that's who I deal with. And if I feel like not either or is doing it, then I sit this one out, but I'm just not stuck on one thing. You're able to sit back and analyze stuff a hell of a lot better. And then plus my career, you had to do that. You know what I'm saying? You had to sit back and analyze things before you start taking people livelihoods away from them and things like that. The way they make a living and the money they bring in and stuff. You have to sit back and analyze that, because that could be a big step. You got to make sure that this is really the right thing to do. So I've been able to sit back and analyze, and that's why I won't be a part of either or, because I want to be able to call out each one the same way if either or do something wrong. And right now, boy, them Dems are stinking up the joint. I'm sorry. And just think about it. Kamala got up there. I don't say I told you so, but I told you so. Well, how about you telling us so that you was getting ready to put a vice president up in there that's full of stink. He got corruption going around and around and around and around and around over there with them Somalis. And you put that man there for us to pick as a vice president. We would have been doomed if he would have been vice president. What we know now, that he can't even say nothing about the fraud. He's so wrapped up in a spider web full of Somalis, he can't even move. Nah. So imagine if he had been vice president, he would have most likely sold his whole country off to them folks. And so, how about I told you so? You better think I you remember. You better think I you remember. You better think I you remember. How about you ain't telling us about Tim Walls? We ain't heard you yet. Get up here and tell us, you know what, y'all? I'm sorry about almost putting this here man as vice president. I didn't even know that he was full of all this stink like that. I did not know his state was missing $19 billion in money, the tax dollars, all that. Just think about if he was vice president, man, we would be doomed. Yeah. How come she didn't get up there and talk about that? If you're going to do that at this man's funeral, I told y'all, I want to say I told y'all so. I don't want to say it, but I told y'all so. But notice, she won't tell us about how we listening. She won't tell us about how and why she got ready to put Tim Walls as her vice president. Ain't she quiet about that? Yeah. Straight disrespectful. Let me see what y'all saying. Talking about I told y'all so. Yeah, Susan, they did. They did. Susan said, love how you work that fan. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, y'all know down here in the South, boy, we be boots on the ground. We be snapping them fans. Spicy said they could have even talked his experience of Dr. King. Yeah, that's what I said. They could have talked about Dr. Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson, partnering and things like that, and going here and going. That wouldn't have, it would have touched a little bit political, but it still would have showed his mileage on his feet of how much he's been in the civil struggle, in the civil fight and all that stuff. It's still, if they would have brought, you right, Spicy, if they would have brought that up about Martin Luther King and him and, traveling, but they just didn't want it. They just couldn't help themselves. It had to be all about them. And that's just so wrong. That's just so wrong and disrespectful, because everybody know, see, his son wanted it to be like that because family, think about it. If you got dams there, you got donkeys there, and you got elephants there, right? And then everybody got feelings. So if you are an elephant and then the donkey get up there and start dogging the elephant, the elephant party, then this person who is an elephant who is attending the funeral is going to feel some type of way. And vice versa. So that's why he's like, leave that out of here. Because basically he's not trying to hurt anybody's feelings in his father's homegoing. Because it's like he said, right wings are here, left wings are here. We don't need the left wing going up there dogging the right. And we don't need the right getting up there dogging the left. And you got some people up there like, man, I sure wish I hadn't even came here. Because, I kind of like Trump, or I kind of like the Dems, and I'm a Dem, but man, the elephants are dogging me out. So I just want to leave. It makes you feel uncomfortable. If you're not with the Dems, they made the other side look real or feel real not wanted there. And that's not right. That's what his son didn't want, family. That's what his son didn't want, and they did it anyway. Just disrespected it. He wanted everybody to feel at home without everybody feeling like they was obligated, Spicy said him being a boots on the ground activist. Exactly. Yeah, Darlene said, wow, they could have made me dizzy as heck. I'm so glad that he didn't win. I'm so glad that vice president didn't even win either, because we would be messed up right about now. I'm telling you. But just think about it. Any funeral we have went to, you do not start talking political. You always, everybody who say they last wishes about that person, they always say either what that person was their friend or how much good times they had together, how much that person accomplished, all his legacy, icon, all that stuff. You leave all that political stuff outside the door. You know, that's the way you're supposed to do. And they know it. They knew that. They do that to no other president or no other icon. You know, you don't use nobody's funeral for that. That's disrespectful. That's off code right there. That's very off code. They went in there with all them janky stunts and know that man told them it couldn't have been. They do owe that family an apology. But guess what? They will never get it because Obama, Kamala, and everybody feel like there was nothing wrong with doing that. It's some people out here that feel like what they did, it wasn't nothing wrong with it. And those are the people that you could tell who feel like it wasn't nothing wrong with what they did. Those are the people who don't know how to love, don't know how to share love, don't know how to respect a loved one or respect a good friend. Because all of them that went up there and did that say that Jesse was their friend. But you know what Jesse's son said? The next day, he was too through. Yes, he was too through. He said this.
For several
He said this.
Is to make it appear as
check out what his son said.
Kamala Harris and everybody else.
Now, this is somebody that has something to say about them, but check out what his son said.
They started talking about the left and the right, and Al Sharpton talking about we can defeat Trump. We've been doing this for. Did Jews not hear?
Now listen to
Reverend Jesse Jackson said.
Jesse Jackson's son finna say the next day because he was pissed. Here he comes.
yesterday. I listened for several hours of three United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson.
What? He said he got up there the next day after they disrespected his father like that. He got up there the next day. He had another little homegoing for his father, and he made it plain. He said yesterday, 3 United States presidents got up here, and they don't even know my father. Basically, hey, they don't know my father. I don't even know why they came up here because they don't know nothing about my father. I just was nice to let them talk. I really didn't want to let them talk, but I thought that if I give them rules, they would follow them rules, and they turned around and dumped all over my dad's request. So he came back the next day and made it plain that 3 presidents came up there and was disrespectful, and they don't really know his father. Mm-hmm. Yes. Jesse Jr. ain't playing with it.
He maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message. The demands of speaking for the least of these, those who were disinherited, the damned, the dispossessed, the disrespected.
He said they disrespected him. Point blank period. Point blank period. He gave that message the next day. He was too through with those presidents. He was talking about Kamala, Obama, and Biden. You know, Al Sharpton was and I'm going to tell you, when Jesse Jr. did that speech, Al Sharpton was standing there. And remember, he was one of the ones started talking about, oh, Trump, we can beat Trump. Al Sharpton was standing next to, not really next to, he was about 3 people down from Jesse Jr. when he was checking those presidents. And I know they got the message because he did that for every news people can hear it. So it spread it to him. But Jesse Jackson was standing by him. And soon as he said that, Jesse sat down and he dropped his head. Yeah, he talking about you too. He just letting you still hang around because you did his father's eulogy. But yeah, he gonna get with you when all this is over with too and tell you how he felt that was wrong for you to do that as well. Yeah. Because like he said, his father was kind of close to both parties. And if you notice, you really didn't. Now, you hear Al Sharpton talk a lot of stuff about the elephants and stuff like that. But think about it. You really didn't even hear Jesse Jackson get up and dog a Republican president. Not really, especially not Trump, because he knew that Trump put millions behind his campaign for presidency. And a lot of people didn't even know that. Did Obama put any millions behind him? No. Did Kamala put any millions behind him? No. I mean, I'm just calling it like I see it. You didn't even put anything behind it, but you disrespected the man. Wow. Well, family, I'm going to read what y'all have to say, and then I'm going to close out. Because, the time went up, so I was kind of thrown off today, family. I was. I'm going to read some of y'all comments. Spicy, they all showed narcissistic behavior. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Susan said his son wanted to give him a united service. Yep, he did. Spicy said they need the family need a formal apology. You right, and I really don't think they're gonna get it. That's just how arrogant they are. They're not gonna give that family an apology. They really do owe that family a formal apology. I don't think they're gonna get it. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and say it. Like, wow, they did. I don't think they're gonna get it. Because for one thing, that funeral was like Thursday, Friday, and then a Saturday. It was Saturday, and then Sunday, which was yesterday, his son comes out and he makes this remark. Okay, today is Monday. They got the message. They seen Jesse Jr.'s thing saying, I seen some presidents here today that I listened to for about a couple of hours, and none of them knew my father. Well, they probably done got salty because he said it like that. But regardless of how salty they feel at Jesse Jr. saying it like that, they should say, you know what? I disagree with him saying I don't know his father, but I can understand him saying that because I disrespected their wishes, his father wishes and his wishes. So I'm just going and make a public apology and just leave it like that. You see what I'm saying? They ain't even do that. They done had a whole day. Jesse Jr. said that yesterday. All of them, Biden, Obama, Kamala, and Al Sharpton, they all had 4, and they had a pastor. Another pastor who got up there, he started talking about all the people at the Capitol are tricycle chasers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Why you say all that at this man here funeral? Here another one that older people, their family, the Jesse Jackson family, a formal apology. But they ain't did it yet. So I don't think they're going to get it, family. Spicy said, why did they have to even bring Trump up? Yeah, I don't know why they had to bring him up. It didn't make sense to bring that man up, but they did, you know. So and it's sad that they did that. So that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Thank y'all so much for the ones who donated to the channel. Thank you for y'all support. It is so greatly appreciated. It really is. Just thank you all so much. Thank you all. And thank you for sponsoring tonight's show. I really do appreciate that. Let me see. Yes. So special thanks goes to Jerry K. Lipcomb. Thank you so much. Spicy, thank you so much. Tracy Moe, thank you so much. Thank y'all for your generosity. Susan said, thank you, Lady Cafe. Yes, love and hugs to you. Love and hugs to you all. I appreciate y'all tuning in today, but I just had to tell y'all about that tea, family. Had to tell y'all about that tea because I do remember that in Aniston, Alabama. But anyway, and then about this old disrespectful thing right here. But anyway, love y'all. And y'all take it easy. Y'all have a good night. That time done went up and it done kind of throw me a little bit off a little bit. So love y'all. Sending loves and hugs. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you to the replay gang. Thank you to everyone in the chat, in the comment section. Y'all please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber already. It's so greatly appreciated. Sending love to the Knowledge family. Y'all the best family here on the YouTube streets. Thank y'all. Love y'all.